Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Phillips H. Lord's Gangbusters, a big crime episode here, the case of the Sledgehammer Handicap. This episode originally broadcast June 11th, 1949.
And now, Gangbusters presents the case of the Sledgehammer Handicap, in which a hot horse, an open drawbridge, a phone call from a locked and bolted drugstore, and a woman's way parlay each other into days of dangerous determination for New Orleans detectives. Gangbusters, the only national program to bring you authentic police case history. Tonight, Gangbusters has asked the Honorable Joseph Charing, Superintendent of Police, New Orleans, Louisiana, to narrate by proxy the case of the Sledgehammer Handicap. Superintendent Charing.
Thank you. And good evening, Gangbusters listeners. Suppose we begin tonight's case in the old quarter of New Orleans, one morning last winter. A man about 30 hurriedly entered the downstairs door of a rundown apartment house and ran breathlessly up 2 stairs at a time toward the dimly lit second-floor hall.
Fran! Where are you, Fran?
Wyatt, will you?
Hey, did you hear what, Fran? Robbie got out. They had him working in the fields. He ducked in the sugar cane away from the guards and jumped in the river. He swam downstream a couple of miles. I just heard it on the radio.
I know.
Yeah, the last thing they found, you know. How do you know? It was just on the radio just now.
Robbie's in there shaving.
You're kidding.
Wish I was. He walked in just after you left.
Hey, Fran, this is no place for me. I better get going.
You stick around.
No, but Fran...
You're a friend of his, aren't you?
Yeah, but if Robbie ever gets an idea what's been going on between you and me, oh, brother.
Who expected him to escape?
Listen, don't say a word. I've been here, Fran. I'll just say goodbye. It's been nice and lots of luck.
You'll stick around. Robbie's been asking for you.
He has?
I told him you were coming back.
Oh, Fran.
Don't off-friend me. I don't want him around. It was all over when he went away, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, but what about as far as he was concerned?
Everything will be all right. Did you get a scratch sheet?
Oh, how can you think about horses at a time like this? How long's it taken me to shave, anyway?
Did you bring back a scratch sheet?
Yeah, I brought a scratch sheet. Here's your rotten scratch sheet.
Hello, Leo.
Oh, Robbie. Hi.
Thought I heard your voice. Come here, Leo.
Fran was telling me, Robbie.
Come in here, Leo. I want to talk to you.
He can wait until you finish shaving.
I said come in here.
Yeah. I'm sure glad you made it, Robbie.
I knew you would be. Fran, get me some coffee ready when I'm finished.
Coffee?
Yeah, go on, coffee.
Boy, you can imagine my surprise, Robbie.
You didn't think I was going to wait around in there for the whole 10 years, did you?
No, but I hear that ain't such an easy place to crack out of, Angola.
It isn't.
What are you counting on doing?
What did you say?
I said, what are you counting on doing? You know, I was just wondering.
What brings you around here so early?
Well, nothing, Robbie. I just picked up a scratch sheet. Me and Fran usually go over the horses together.
So she's still a horse player?
Yeah, me too.
How you doing?
Well, you know how it is, Robbie. You win one day, you blow it the next.
I don't mean with the horses. I mean with Fran.
Hey, now, Robbie, you got the wrong slant. There's nothing between me and Fran.
No?
No, I take a note on it. We're just a couple of friendly horse players.
A lot of stories come drifting back to me up there.
No, you got my word for it, Robbie.
Like I don't like to be sitting alone up there and hear those kind of stories.
Now, Robbie, listen to me.
Listen to me. You can have her.
I can?
I took one look at her and you can have her.
I wouldn't want to do you out of anything. You know me.
I told you could have her.
That's awful nice of you.
Consider you doing me a favor, Leo. It's settled.
Yeah. Maybe I ought to go out and tell Fran there's nothing to worry about.
Wait a minute.
Well, she's entitled to stop worrying.
Let her worry about something else besides the horses for a few days. It'll do her good.
Yeah, but Robbie, you...
Stick here. I'm going to talk to you some more.
Oh. About what?
You been working lately?
You mean working or working?
You know what I mean.
No, Robbie, not much.
All right, Leo. You work with me. We're a team.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's settled.
Captain Gilliard.
Oh, Captain, I was able to locate Detective Paul Poisonell. He's right here now.
Good. Ask him to step in.
Yes, sir. Go right in, Paul.
And Baker.
Yes, sir.
Call the Bureau of Identification. I want some more recent pictures of Robbie Bertram.
Yes, Captain.
Come over. Sit down, Paul.
Sure, Captain.
Listen, Baker.
Yes, sir.
The most recent picture identification sent down was made in 1944 when he was arrested on the last offense. Ask them to check the penitentiary. Maybe they've got something made later.
Yes, Captain.
Okay, get on it. Well, Paul, I suppose you heard the news.
You mean about Robbie Bertram, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it. He figured to break out sooner or later, Captain. Robbie was always a hard boy to hold down.
You think you can find him?
He's in New Orleans, maybe.
Well, if he is, we can expect to break out all over in safe burglaries.
They're telling me, like a plague.
I've got our old reports out on...
Huh?
It says here he used to go with a girl, an inveterate horse player.
That's right, Fran something.
Liggett, Fran Liggett.
Yeah.
Look, I want you to locate her, Paul. If you do, you'll probably locate Robbie.
Fran, come here, Fran.
Hello, Leo.
Gee, where you been, Fran?
If a person wins on a horse, they're entitled to collect the bet, aren't they?
What, did that 10-to-1 shot win it?
He did, and he closed at 12-to-1.
I knew I should have laid in a bet.
I told you, didn't I? Well, aren't you going to invite a lady to sit down?
Yeah, sit down.
Much obliged.
Why I can't get up nerve enough to go in on them good things, I'll never know. All the dogs I got to bet on.
It's technique, that's all, a system. Where's Robbie?
I got to meet him.
Oh, well, then let's go.
No, Fran, you better stay here. You see, this is the big deal. We're going to look over that safe we got to rip open tonight, you know?
What's the matter with me going? I used to go, you know.
Yeah, I know, but Robbie thinks it's better to be careful.
How careful can he get? He sees you, don't he?
Well, Robbie and me are working together.
You'd think I was poison.
All right, Fran, baby, I don't know. I guess it's all right to let you in on it now.
Let me in on what?
Robbie knows all about us.
He does?
I didn't tell him he heard it in the penitentiary.
Uh-oh.
I was scared to death, baby, and then he tells me it's okay with him. He don't care.
He don't?
We got his blessings.
What? Well, that's a lot of nerve.
I think it's good. It's wonderful, baby. Suppose he was mad. Look what he'd do to the both of us.
I never heard of such a thing.
What do you mean you never heard of such a thing? It worked out fine.
That's no way to treat a lady.
Listen, I thought I was the one you wanted.
That's so, but the least he could do would be to make an effort.
Oh, Fran, what are you complaining about?
Oh, nothing at all.
Well, for crying out loud, you don't have to get mad at me.
Who's mad at you?
Frankly, this whole thing's got me puzzled. Listen, we talk about it later. I got to go and meet Robbie.
Well, go meet him. Who's stopping you?
Honest to goodness.
Go on. I got plenty to do. I got to dope out tomorrow's horses.
Okay, honey. I'll see you later.
I want a cab.
Yes, sir, where at?
Corner of Mirabeau and Paris, in front of the drugstore.
Yes, sir, the corner of Mirabeau and Paris in front of the drugstore. Right away, thank you, sir.
Don't mention it.
Come on, Robbie, let's go.
All right, Leo, take your time.
Take my time. We break into a drugstore, we knock open the safe, we make enough racket to bring the house down at 2 in the morning. We got the dough, we're ready to go, and you want to make a phone call. Can't you make your phone calls from someplace else? From home, for instance?
Relax. I was calling a taxi.
A taxi?
What do you want to do? Take a streetcar?
Robbie, for crying out loud, we just been into the safe here, remember?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I want to get out of here. I got the tools already. Let's go.
Leave the tools lay.
Leave them lay? Where are we going to get another extension Jimmy like that one?
We'll get it. Leave the tools lay. You want to get picked up with tools on you? Okay. Not the way we came.
Oh, I don't have to be coaxed. Let's go.
Well, Gangbusters listeners, the criminal, Robbie Bertram, simply called a taxicab to get away safely from the first burglary after his escape from Louisiana State Prison. Similar ingenious and daring getaways mounted as the weeks went by and the reports of burglaries increased. But it was the last getaway for which police waited.
Back to Gangbusters in a moment.
June 11th, 1949, Gangbusters on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station. Now more of Gangbusters, June 11th, 1949.
And now we take you back to Gangbusters.
And once again, we hear from tonight's narrator, Superintendent Charing.
One afternoon a few weeks later, Detective Paul Poisonot walked into a thinly camouflaged horse betting parlor just across the river from downtown New Orleans. This was only one of dozens of similar calls he had made in search of the girl Fran. As usual, he stood at the rear of the place for a moment, scanning the patrons who were listening to the call of the race, then walked into the crowd.
Linda! Come on, kid! Come on, there!
Boy, what a load he's carrying.
Come on, Linda!
That's the guy up. I don't know.
Come on, Linda! That's my Linda! Stay there, Linda!
Take him by two as periscope. On the outside, double scotch.
Stay there, Linda! Stay there!
Oh, you said it, lady. Stay there, Linda.
Have you got Linda?
Have I got Linda? I got a wad.
She'll win it, all right. She's a...
Believe that's Linda W by 2 lengths.
Atta girl, Linda.
Periscope and double scotch are head and head for second, and coming up on the inside of fourth position, Stainless.
She'll take it. She'll walk in now.
Oh, I hope so. I could use the winner.
Who couldn't? There's nothing to worry about. She's
And the
in.
results of the 6th at Hot Springs.
Here it is.
The winner by a neck, number 4, Stainless.
Oh, no.
Second and double scotch was third.
What happened to Linda?
That's what I'd like to know.
She died. She was leading all the way around and she died. How do you like that?
I don't like it any more than you do. Hey, Fran, you have to sit here all afternoon. You realize I've been waiting out in the car for you?
Listen, Leo, I had a horse that almost won the race. What do you expect me to do? Drop everything and come running?
Well, Robbie's waiting for me on the street corner. You know Robbie's waiting for me.
Robbie? Who cares about Robbie? Let him wait on 4 corners. Linda W. almost took it and dies in the stretch. Ain't that right, mister?
Oh, you said that's right, lady. That cost me a wad myself.
Chicago, the horses are going to the post.
You got anything good in the next at Chicago, mister?
No, not a thing. Have you?
Oh, I got a little bet on Uncle Jack. I think the horse can win it.
Uncle Jack, that's a 20-1 on the line.
Ain't that enough for you, mister?
Yeah, but Fran, let's go.
Listen, Leo, the horses are at the post practically. It'll be another 5 minutes. Robbie can wait another 5 minutes.
Fran. Uncle Jack, huh?
That's right, mister. Uncle Jack.
Uncle Jack, maybe. Hey, I'll go take a look at the form.
Yeah, you do that.
The 6th at Hot Springs is now official. The winner, number 4, Stainless, pays $6.80.
Captain Gilliard.
Hello, Captain Paul. I located the girl.
Oh, good. Where are you?
Well, I found her in a horse room across the river.
Uh-huh.
She's with a guy, Leo something or other. And they were talking about driving to meet Robbie someplace over there in New Orleans.
Well, do you think they'll be around long enough for me to get there?
No, not more than 5 minutes. Leo's in a hurry.
Well, you can't stay behind them yourself.
I'll tell you what, Captain. Now, I think they'll take the Jackson Street ferry back over to New Orleans. Can you run down to the foot of Jackson Street and wait?
Okay, Paul. I guess that's the only bet. If they come across some other way, you stay behind them as best you can.
Hi, Robbie, get in.
How long do you expect me to stand waiting on a street corner?
It wasn't our fault. There was something wrong with the ferry. It got delayed.
Besides, I had a horse.
You've always got a horse, haven't you?
At least a horse you can depend on. He may not win all the time, but he always gives you a run for your money.
And who was that meant to be a dig at?
That was meant for me, Leo.
Well, why should she be taking digs at you?
Still a free country, ain't it? I can take digs at anybody I want.
Straight over the bridge, Leo.
Wait, over the bridge? Look, we ain't going all the way out there for another look at the place we're going to take, are we?
Get all the look you can at it in daylight, then you know it in the dark. Go on, over the bridge.
Hey, I don't like to be cause for alarm, but take a look at that car back there, the Chevy.
Oh, what's the matter?
You just drive.
What do you think, huh?
Leo, pull away a little bit.
Yeah.
They're keeping up with us.
Are the cops?
Did I know whether it's cops?
They're coming up more.
Give it a gun, Leo.
Nice. A lot of traffic here, you can't.
It's cops, all right.
Go on, head straight for the drawbridge. We'll lose them on the other side.
We're pulling away from them some.
Okay, we'll make it. Take a right and you're on a bridge.
I know.
Hold on.
We're okay.
Robbie, the bridge.
Holy, they're raising the bridge here.
Go on through. You'll make it. Go right through.
Robbie, you
Go on.
We can't make it.
Give it the gun and take the jump. You'll have about 10 feet.
Here we go.
Oh, brother. That's the best long shot that's ever come in for me.
All right, take it easy. We're okay now.
I phoned in the description of the car, Captain.
Yeah, I heard it over the air. Get in.
Well, maybe one of the squads will grab them over on the other side.
Maybe, but I doubt it.
We can get after them as soon as they lower this bridge.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, we just had a bad break, that's all. Who'd have figured they'd be fools enough to try and jump an open bridge?
Say, Paul, you think this Leo and the girl realized who you were? In the horse room, I mean.
No, I don't think so. I stayed out of sight on the ferry, and I think we were far enough away in the car not to be recognized.
All right, Paul. Suppose you become an habitual horse player.
You think she'll show up there again?
Well, why not? If they don't put two and two together. She likes to play the horses, doesn't she?
Okay, Captain. I will become an habitual horse player. Oh, the bridge is down.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's enough, Leo. Shut that drill off.
Yeah. So what do you think, Robbie?
The safe will be open in 10 minutes.
No, I don't mean about the safe. I mean what I asked you about, Fran.
Look, I'm here to rip a safe, not to give advice to the lovelorn. Hand me that Jimmy.
Yeah. Here. After all, you could help me out. You know her so many years. She used to be your girl.
Lean on this thing, will you?
Yeah.
All right, use your muscle.
All I want is to know how to handle it. She ain't been the same since she got back, Robbie.
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah. Now, will you talk to her?
All right, I'll talk to her. I'll talk to her tonight. Let's just get the safe ripped.
Thanks a lot, Robbie. You don't know how I appreciate this.
Don't mention it. Yeah, we gotta cut away some more. We'll never get in the safe.
Now, you sure you're going to talk to her?
Didn't I tell you I would? Come on with the drill.
Yeah. The drill.
Well, boys, all in all, I'd say it was a big day.
Yeah, plenty big, Fran.
A narrow escape from the cops today, and tonight a good haul in the safe. So I guess both of you are ready for another drink, huh? Robbie?
Fix me a short one of the same.
Right. Leo?
You relax, Fran. I'll fix the drinks.
What suddenly come over you?
I'll fix them. Now, you stay there and talk to Robbie, huh? You two talk. You know what I mean.
Well, how should we know what he means?
Fran, Leo's not the happiest guy in the world.
Yeah? Well, I'm not the happiest girl.
It comes down to this. I'm not interested anymore.
Oh. You're not?
I told Leo not to consider me competition.
Well, I like that.
You know, it's kind of generous of me. I come back and see what's going on between you two. If I was another kind of guy, I could have raised a fuss.
Well, why didn't you raise a fuss, huh? You think a girl like me has nothing to be proud of?
It's like a horse race, Fran. When a horse is young, she runs in big company. And when she loses some of her...
Now I'm a horse, huh?
Fran, that's just a comparison.
Well, you've got a lot of nerve comparing me to a horse. You of all people, a lousy safecracker, comparing me to a horse.
Now, Fran.
Hey, what's all the screaming about?
What's all the screaming about? The screaming is about the fact that I refuse to be tossed around between you two like I was a bale of hay. Goodbye to both of you, and good luck.
Hey, Fran.
Yeah. How do you like that?
Robbie, I thought you was going to talk to her.
I did, Leo. I guess I ain't so good on that kind of talking.
And in a third race at New York, a change of jockeys. Jay Lucky will ride number 6, Ramona.
Hi there.
Jay Lucky will ride number 6,
Hey, you got anything good today?
Nope, nothing.
Hey, I want to thank you for that horse you gave me the other day, that Uncle Jack.
Don't mention it.
You know, I bet him. He paid a nice price. Did you and your friend have a good bet on him?
Yeah, we made.
Hey, you sure you got nothing good today? Not even a hunch?
I told you, I got nothing.
Oh, come on. Now, you ain't sitting around the horse room all day and all yesterday and all day before if you got nothing.
I like the atmosphere.
Well, you mind if I take a look at your scratch sheet?
Yeah, I do mind. Go get your own scratch sheet.
At least you could be sociable. See you around, lady horse player.
First to Chicago, the horses are going to the post.
That a match, bud?
Yeah, here you are.
Thanks. Keep an eye on her, Baker. I want to call the captain.
Yeah, you bet, Paul. You got anything?
No, not a thing.
Looks to me as if she broke off with Robbie Bertram.
Maybe.
Yeah, she sits all week now. She doesn't move out of here all day and out of her apartment all night.
Well, I know it's a grind, but we got to stick with her. Watch her while I call the captain.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the first at Chicago, the track is clearing.
June 11th, 1949, Phillips H. Lord's Gangbusters here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We'll have the conclusion of the show, and we'll start a brand new Yours Truly Johnny Dollar story following these messages from your favorite radio station. Just going to take a minute here to tell you about the big savings going on now, the clearance sale at mypillow.com. And you know, I've talked about how in my office I have a pair of my slippers, and they're really comfortable, and they're on clearance right now. The mypillow.com slippers, $25 a pair, limit 10. And I would buy 3 or 4 more pairs. Unfortunately, they're out of my size. They also have sheets, pillowcases, clothing items, all on special right now. Go to mypillow.com, click on the clearance tab at the top of the page, use my promo code Wyatt, or call 1-800-928-4715. Limited sizes remaining in the MyPillow slippers, limited colors on other items. mypillow.com, clearance tab, promo code Wyatt, 1-800-928-4715. I'm Wyatt Cox. This is Classic Radio Theater on your favorite radio station. Now the conclusion of Gangbusters in the case of the Sledgehammer Handicap, June 11th, 1949.
Hey, Robbie.
What?
Robbie, I just ran into half pint as I'm coming out the hash house.
So?
He's got a great tip on a horse in the 6th of New York this afternoon, a horse called Vampire, and it's going to be at a price.
We got other things to do.
No, but the half pint says this is a good thing. It's a cinch.
Look, we're knocking over another safe tonight, and we got to think about making that a cinch.
No, but this is a tip horse, Robbie. You should never fail to be on a tip horse, even if it's only $2.
You know how the half-pint tips are.
No, but Robbie, this horse is 30 to 1.
Listen, the half-pint hasn't given you a winner yet. The horse don't have a chance. He can't win it.
Well, all right, so he can't win it, but tell me, where else can you get 30 to 1?
Forget it, Leo.
Oh, please, Robbie.
Look, you don't care about betting the horse, Leo. All you want to do is go there and see Fran.
No, but Robbie,
Isn't that right?
Okay, it's right. I want to see Fran. What's wrong with wanting to see Fran?
You're well rid of her.
Yeah, sure, you can say that. You don't have no feelings for her.
It's no good for you. She threw herself at me, practically.
Oh, Robbie, I'm miserable. I feel like a fish out of water. I need her. I can't keep my mind on my work. You know I got to go and get her.
It's not a good idea, Leo.
Look, Robbie, I'm eating my heart out. To think of her sitting there all alone in that horse room.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, thanks, Robbie. You don't know what this means to me.
Well, some good might come of it. Maybe the half-pint tip horse will turn out okay after all. This is against my better judgment, Leo. You ought to find yourself a new dish.
Robbie, can I help it how I feel?
Okay, it's your decision to make. At least I got a horse to bet on. Go on inside.
I hope she's here.
Yes, you can count on it.
Post time for the 4th at New York, 3:43.
Let's see her. There she is.
Going into
Hey,
the
take it
stretch
easy.
at
She ain't going
Maryland.
no place.
Yeah. Oh, she looks worried, don't she, huh?
Probably lost every race.
Hello, Fran.
What? Oh. I'd be grateful if the two of you got out of my sight.
Oh, Fran, baby,
Orderly.
stick to me.
Now, quiet.
That's more margin. Second is Esplanade, and Royal Dad is third.
Atta baby, you're in a good spot.
You betting Esplanade, Fran?
I'm not talking to you unless you get that man out of my sight.
I still don't see what I did to you.
Robbie didn't mean nothing, honest.
Comparing me to a horse.
Oh, how could anybody compare you to a horse?
The winner by a hedge. Number 2, more margin. Royal Dad was second, and Helpful Harry was third.
Well, what happened to Esplanade?
That's tough luck, Fran. I tell you, I got a swell tip from half pint.
Where's the tip, Leo? You won't need it now.
Cops.
All right, none of you move.
Okay, I'm not through. I'm not through.
Okay, watch it, Paul.
You're not going anyplace, Robbie.
Let go of me.
Hey, who are you swinging at? Go, I said. All right, Robbie. Let's go. You want to get rough? I'll show you rough.
Is everything under control, Paul?
Yeah, everything is fine.
All right, Baker. Bring those two along.
Listen, I can't go anyplace. I got another horse running.
You three have another race to worry about, and I wouldn't take any bets on that one. The odds are with us.
Well, Gangbusters listeners, that's how these criminals were taken in a horse room across the Mississippi River from downtown New Orleans. Robbie Bertram has been returned to Louisiana State Prison with a life term in addition to what he was already serving. His companions have received appropriate shorter sentences.
Thank you, Superintendent Joseph Charing, for this most absorbing case history. And Gangbusters, congratulations to all the New Orleans detectives whose investigation brought these criminals to justice. Tonight's case was dramatized by Stan Linus and directed by George Zachary, with Bill Smith, Gene Ellen, and Ken Lynch in leading roles. Olin Ty speaking. Gangbusters is a Phillips H. Lord production.
June 11, 1949, Gangbusters here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. In the on-deck circle is yours truly, Johnny Dollar. But first, these important messages. All right, now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we start a brand new yours truly, Johnny Dollar 5-part story. This part 1 is of The Laughing Matter, and it was originally broadcast on June 11th, 1956.
From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Ed Renser, Johnny, Union States Casualty Company.
Oh, hi, Ed. I heard you were trying to reach me.
Yes, indeed. Plane leaves in 2 hours.
For where?
Ensenada. It's a port on the west coast of Mexico, south...
Yeah, I know, Ed. I know. I've been there. But
Well,
what do you...
Charlie Burton is down there, Johnny. You know, the big nightclub TV comic. You know, good old, lovable, boyish Charlie?
I've seen his show.
Who hasn't? Really keeps you screaming, doesn't he?
Oh, he is a killer.
Eesh.
So what do I do? Go out there and scream it up for him?
You go out there and keep him alive. Someone's threatened to murder him.
One of his audience, maybe?
No, wait, Johnny, this is no laughing matter. Anything happens to Charlie Burton, I cut my throat.
Hey, you really do like his show.
We're carrying $500,000 worth of insurance on that boy.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. From Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Home Office, Union States Casualty Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Laughing Matter. Item 1, $221.50. Transportation by scheduled airline to San Diego, incidentals there, and charter plane for a flight 80 miles south into Mexico. To Ensenada. Item 2, $1.90. Taxi from the plowed ground airstrip to the Carrara marble foyer of the plush Balboa Beach Hotel. The contrast was typical. Ensenada is 2 towns, really. The tourist town is a glittering belt of pseudo-swank resorts around the south end of the bay. Bald-headed men in flowery sports shirts and fat women in shorts, loaded down with cameras, souvenirs, and U.S. dollars. The loafing town. And next to it, the rows of warehouses and docks, the fishing fleets and freezer plants, narrow dirt streets and slums. Soft-eyed Mexicans and the gentle liquid sound of Spanish. Native town, the working town. 2 different ways of life, and no bridge of understanding between. The executive producer of the Charlie Burton Show, a man named Frank Maltz, was in my room 5 minutes after I checked in.
Glad to know you, Mr. Dollar.
He was probably in his middle 40s, but looked older, haggard, pressured, a little battered around the edges. He might not have his ulcer yet, but he was sure working on one.
Didn't waste much time getting here.
Well, that phone call of yours got them pretty upset back there in Hartford.
I meant for it,
So
too.
I gathered. Have you called in the local authorities, Mr. Maltz?
No,
Why not?
It wouldn't have done any good. Charlie'd have blown his top and had him thrown out.
Good old lovable Charlie?
Yes.
He doesn't know you phoned Hartford.
No, he'd have stopped me if he'd known.
Why? Does he want to die?
Oh, he says he's had murder threats before, crank letters. He wouldn't take it seriously.
But you do, is that it?
I didn't figure it was up to me to decide.
As I understand it, Mr. Maltz, there was a note of some kind slipped under Burton's door.
That's right.
Well, tell me about it, will you?
All right, yesterday evening, after we came back from shooting some scenes around the bay, we went to our room, shower, clean up for dinner. You know? When Charlie started to leave his room, he saw the note.
Where is his room?
Fourth one down on the terrace to the left. All our rooms open onto this same terrace.
Do you still have that note?
No. Charlie tore it up after he read it.
Did he show it to anybody?
Yes, to me. It was on stationery from the hotel here. It was in pencil and crudely printed.
Remember the wording?
Oh, yes. It said, "Only the gods are immortal, Burton. As you'll soon find out, you'll never leave Ensenada alive."
Kind of an odd way of putting it.
I thought so myself.
Know anyone who might use that style of phrasing?
No, I'm afraid not.
All right. What else, Mr. Maltz?
Nothing else. Those are the facts.
Anything happened since the note?
Not as far as I know.
Burton could be right, of course. The whole thing may be a hoax.
Yeah, maybe, but that's for you to decide, not me.
Who do you know who might think they had a reason to kill him?
Aha. I think I'll let you form your own conclusions on that.
No, thanks, Mr. Maltz. That's very thoughtful of you.
All right, I'm sorry. I realize I haven't given you much to go on.
Practically
I
nothing.
can't help it, Dollar. That's all I know about it.
I see.
Well, talk to the others. See what they know about it.
Others?
Well, I was thinking mainly of Gloria Dale and Al Schreiber. And there's Charlie himself, of course.
Suppose you brief me on those other two.
All right. Gloria Dale's the feminine lead.
Oh, yeah, I've seen her on TV.
Yeah, probably. She's been with the show for 3 years. She's in her late 20s. She's single. She's gorgeous. She has a terrific sense of comedy.
How does she get along with old, lovable Charlie?
Good question. Maybe she can give you an answer to it.
All right, I'll ask her. And who was that other one you mentioned?
Al Schreiber? Yeah, he's a young newcomer. He's been with the show 6 months now. A real talent, if he were ever given a chance to show it.
Why isn't he given a chance?
Because on the Charlie Burton show, my friend, there is one and only one star, namely...
Good old, lovable, boyish Charlie Burton.
Oh, you've been reading the press release.
Well, as a matter of fact, I have. All right, who else?
No, that's all. At least all that mattered. The camera crew, the technicians were sent up from Churubusco in Mexico City. They never heard of Charlie Burton before. And we haven't had much of any contact with anyone here in town. Now, I think that note was written by somebody right here in the family. That's another reason I sent for you instead of the local police.
Just why did you send for me, Mr. Maltz?
What do you mean?
How do you feel about Charlie Burton?
Haven't you guessed?
More or less, I think.
Well, I'll spell it right out for you, Mr. Dollar. I hate his guts.
And what do you care whether he's murdered or not?
Care? I'd get roaring drunk to celebrate it.
And yet you're the one who phoned an SOS to Hartford.
Well, sure. If Burton does get it, I want an expert around. Somebody will tag the right party for the crime.
A matter of justice. Is that it?
Why not?
Oh, because it's usually just a word people talk about. What they really want is to win. Is that what you want, Mr. Maltz?
Very funny. You ought to go on television.
No, I'm waiting till they perfect it.
I feel the same way about murder.
So the legend of lovable Charlie was starting to crack. One person at least didn't love him, Frank Maltz, his executive producer. And there was something else besides hate in Frank Maltz's eyes, weariness or bitterness, something I couldn't quite place. I filed the thought for the moment, took time to shower and change, and went looking for another pair of eyes, a prettier pair. And I found them, alone on the terrace with their owner. They were turned toward the west, toward the last golden edge of the sun as it sank into the Pacific. They were big and blue, very lovely.
Hello there.
How are you, Miss Dale?
Miss...
I'm Johnny Dollar. I just got in from Hartford, and I've been talking with Frank Maltz.
Oh, you must be with the advertising sponsor.
No, I'm an insurance investigator.
Huh?
Yes, I'm here in regard to that threatening note that Mr. Burton received.
Oh, that.
You've heard about it, then?
Oh, we all heard about it. Interminably.
From Burton, you mean?
Who else? Oh, he paced and posed and beat his breast. He wept and stormed and shouted at us. Harangued, accused, and monologued us. Our base ingratitude after all he'd done for us. Done to us, he should have said. That one of us, a viper in his bosom, should stoop to such a practical joke on good old luck. If it was a practical joke, what are you doing down here?
You think it was a joke, Miss Dale?
I don't, but Charlie himself said... Do you mean somebody really meant that threat?
Maybe.
Well, what do you know?
Any idea as to who might have written it?
Sure. Anybody who knows him.
Is he that bad, actually?
Mr. Dollar, you've heard the expression, horrid old man.
Yeah.
Well, if Charlie Burton worked for years to improve himself, I mean, really tried, eventually he might lift himself up high enough to be a horrid old man.
Well, if it's like that, why do you stick around?
Why do I? Because I signed a contract last year during an emotional crisis. And it's got 2 more years to run.
Break it. Breathe a little clean air for a change.
I'd be dead professionally, and that's about all I've got in life now. Professional career, such as it is.
Same thing apply to Frank Maltz?
Yep, contract. Executive producer is just a title. The Charlie Burton Show is owned by Charlie Burton, lock, stock, barrel, and the souls of the employees.
Something of a dictator, huh?
Egomaniac. He's a pre-adolescent paranoid with the ethics of a rattlesnake and the jealous instincts of a Turkish harem master. Oh, forgive me, Mr. Dollar. I had that line in a play once, but it still fits him.
Tell me the truth, Miss Dale. Did you write that note?
I'm a female comic, Mr. Dollar.
So?
So who can write?
Gloria.
Out here, Al, on the terrace. Al Schreiber, have you met him yet?
No, but I've got him on the list.
That may turn out to be quite a list before you're through.
Downstairs bar at 7, honey. That's what you said. Downstairs bar at 7.
Yeah, I know. I'm going in and change right now. Al, this is Johnny Dollar, Al Schreiber.
Hello, Al.
How are you? Glad to see you.
Mr. Dollar's an insurance investigator. He's here about that murder threat Charlie got.
You mean that note was for real?
Could be.
Well, happy days. Baby, there's hope for us yet.
Careful, Al. Mr. Dollar's making a list.
Sweetie, I'd be proud to confess. Only I didn't think of the idea, and besides, I'm a coward.
Did either of you actually see that note?
No, but we heard about it.
So I understand.
How does insurance figure in this? You mean some company actually wrote a policy on that earthworm?
To the tune of $500,000.
Holy Hannah, who's he worth that much to?
His sponsor, the advertising client. I doubt if it's personal, really. They're just protecting their investment in the show.
$500,000 fish. For a phony old fake who weighs in at a fast 30 cents. Say, maybe they're out to kill him and make a profit for themselves.
Yeah, I'll put them on the list. And I take it you're in the club, too, Al.
Club?
At least you're not wearing a Love Charlie Burton button.
Oh, sir. All I am, ever was, or hope to be in any future life. All I have, ever had, or expect to have at any time, notwithstanding. The foregoing to supersede any previous statement, and irregardless of any utterance made hereafter. I owe in its entirety, and without any reservation whatsoever, to my one and only benefactor. That sterling, magnanimous, warm-hearted, genial. I'll bet you think I'm only saying that because it's in my contract.
Did you write the note, Al?
I don't know what to say until I check with my writers.
Yeah, I have the same problem with my underwriters.
Say, that's not bad, Mr. Dollar. You know, you ought to try television.
I'm waiting till they perfect it. Item 3, 80 cents, one drink. I had it sent from the bar and sat on the terrace alone and drank it. I watched the sun die in the west and let the soft night creep out of the hills of Mexico and sink down over me in gentle folds. Then I saw a man slip from the shadowed shrubbery and move cautiously up the terrace, a pale ghost dressed in the white cotton of a peon worker. As I came quietly to my feet, a girl ran from inside somewhere, clung to him, and stopped him. They argued fiercely for a moment and guarded Spanish. Then the man turned and saw me and vanished into the darkness of the hotel gardens. The girl faced me for an instant, with eyes like frightened doves. Then she, too, turned and fled. But I'd recognize her. She was the hotel maid who'd brought ice to my room when I first arrived. So it was a lover's meeting, most likely. And yet, the man, before she stopped him, had been heading across the terrace toward Charlie Burton's room.
Now, here's our star to tell you about tomorrow's intriguing episode of this week's story.
Tomorrow, the great man condescends and shivers a little, too. And a girl's hidden hate is blacker than the sea-wet rock she vents it on. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by Les Crutchfield, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
That is all of the yours truly Johnny Dollar music I have. Robert in beautiful White Springs, Florida, asked me what the source of it was. All we could find out, it was from a radio and television production library, and I have been unable to track down the whole slice of it. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, part 1 of the 5-part Laughing Matter, and John Daner playing a big role in this week's shows. This is from June 11th, 1956, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank this station, please, and support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allow us to be with you each and every time you roll around on your favorite station. Miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. All of our shows are available at classicradio.stream. Stream our shows. Learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can find our social media links there. You can also find lists of the various apps and the sites that have our shows available for download. And you can also buy me a copy. That helps us acquire additional classic radio collections and helps us maintain our distribution channels so we can help keep coming to your favorite station. Have yourself a great day. Tell all your friends the greatest radio shows of all time are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.